Oh, that's right. King 5 uncovers the VA refusing to pay for veterans' emergency medical care because they don't visit the VA often enough. Tonight, a veteran from Georgia is sharing his experience, and after taking a close look at the numbers, we can tell you he is not alone.
This is my Class A uniform jacket.
You can learn a lot about a soldier by looking at their dress uniform.
You can tell their rank.
Army veteran David Riggs first put his on in 1985.
Marksman's badge. This one here's a good conduct medal. It's actually a story in a uniform jacket.
And if a ribbon existed for good health, the 55-year-old Georgia veteran likely deserves one.
Very seldom, if ever, went to the doctor's office for anything.
But his good health is now costing him
$12,186.
Ginger is David's wife.
But he wasn't raised to let's run to the doctor if I sneeze.
Unless it was life-threatening, you didn't do anything for it except keep it from bleeding and keep on going.
So when he was hurting so bad last July, he says he couldn't even stand. You know it was bad.
And I was in so much pain, I didn't know which way to turn.
Ginger called 911 and an ambulance took him to the nearest emergency room. A scan showed he had kidney stones.
Unbearable.
That $12,000 bill came in the mail a month later. At the time, Riggs didn't worry. He's a VA healthcare enrollee. Every year, he gets a letter from the government saying he has medical coverage. His VA card even tells him in an emergency to go to the nearest medical facility. So he was surprised when he got this letter from the VA.
They denied my claim because I hadn't seen one of their doctors in the last 24 months.
That's right. Veterans who don't see a VA doctor every 24 months can have their ER bill denied.
I'm being penalized for being healthy and not having to use a doctor very often.
David says he'd never heard of this 24-month rule. Our investigation discovered he's not alone. According to this 2014 Government Accountability Office report, most veterans are often not aware of specific eligibility criteria and assume that VA will cover their non-VA emergency care.
Veterans are confused, and even claims people are confused.
Randy Williamson is based in Seattle and is one of the authors of the GAO report. He even testified before Congress about the problem.
That some veterans do not always understand their eligibility for coverage for emergency care.
In the nearly 3 years since that testimony, King 5 uncovered the VA, based on that 24-month rule, has refused to pay thousands of ER bills right here in Washington state.
That is 4,315 veterans with ER bills totaling more than $10.7 million denied in Washington alone. And nationwide, the number climbs to 219,681 ER claims denied, putting veterans on the hook for more than $791 million. It leaves this federal investigator questioning whether the VA followed up on his recommendations.
One of our recommendations that VA needs to do a better job informing veterans and finding out what the knowledge gaps are.
The VA denied our request for an interview and did not detail what it's currently doing to better inform veterans about the rule. But in response to our Tegna News partners' repeated requests for information on ER bill denials, a spokesman did email, VA will continue to work with veterans to help them understand their emergency care benefits.
Nobody has ever sent me any paperwork stating that this rule is in effect.
Veterans like David are now questioning if the VA is doing enough to ensure they're aware of all the hoops they need to jump through to get the medical care they earned when they put on our nation's uniform.
There are a number of reasons the VA can deny paying a veteran's ER bill. In response to the reporting by our sister station in Minneapolis on improper VA denials, Congress called for an Inspector General investigation, which is now underway.